Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit. Ask Me Anything. We're joined by the disciple Dustin Pague. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, brother?
You know, every time you come on, like you look better and better. Like that's the thing I love about you. Always, everything. Every time I see you, you're improved. You know, like everything about you is just better and better.
My wife says I'm aging well, so I guess that's a good thing.
Do you do like a skincare regimen or anything like that, or is it just good genes?
Yes, I put Vaseline on my face before I spar. I think that's the key. But you know what's funny? I look back at like old photos, like UFC days and back before I had my nose surgery. I look completely different. One, I was super skinny, and when I lose weight, like the first thing that goes is my face, and I hate it.
Sure.
I like having a thick neck, thick face, and big arms. And those are the first two things that go when I start cutting weight. Face gets sucked out, and I lose my arms.
I'm down about 20 pounds, and my wife goes, I wish you would not lose weight in your face. She goes, lose it in the rest of your body. She goes, your face looks so different now. And you know who looks like when Mike Richmond? Do you see those photos of Mike Richmond when he was fighting at 135? He's like a 180 guy now. And I mean, like,
Oh
he
yeah,
looks completely different.
yeah, completely different person. But he's another guy. I think he looks much better, more manly with that thick face.
Okay, so someone sent in a question. They said, how do you mentally prepare for the intensity of this upcoming fight?
What's this person's name? Let me give him a little shout out. I don't
Um,
see it on my end.
oh, you don't see it. No, no. Like this, they sent it to me. It was your wife.
Okay.
She wants to know like how you is there some intensity for this upcoming fight?
You know what? I mean, I've been doing this 20 years now. I think it's just second nature for me. You know, obviously, even fighting for 20 years, I still get nervous before every bout, but it's kind of always the same thing, you know? It's not too much nervousness, it's not too little. It's just right in that perfect mix where I'm just, I got the anxious feeling. As far as preparation, as long as I have a good train up and my body feels healthy, I'm mentally strong for the fight. I believe in myself. So if those two things are in line, I feel in shape. My body feels good. No, nothing, broken or bruised. My mind's on point. So nothing specific that I really have to do.
This is your second time headlighting this Philadelphia card. It's a big deal. They keep going back to you. I think it's great that you're so trustworthy and you put on a fight every time you get in there.
Yeah, I'm very honored. I was happy to when I first got the name for my opponent. I didn't know they're like co-main, maybe main. We're not sure yet. So I was very happy to see I was main event again, second time in a row in Philly. So that's pretty cool.
I had heard quite a few names were kicked your way. I'm glad this guy took the challenge. It is kind of crazy though that so many people get told, "Hey, do you want to fight Dustin?" And the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean it's. I guess that makes my head a little bigger. Makes me seem cool. I don't know, but I think a lot of fighters. It's sad to say because I've never been this way. I think they want easy fights, and not even easy fights. They want winnable fights. Um, I don't think any fight's easy, but they want winnable fights. And if they have a shadow of a doubt in their head, they're like, nah, throw me someone else. And I can honestly say my entire career, MMA or bare knuckle, I've never turned down a fight or any opponent. Heck, I
It,
fought Dean Thomas from the UFC when I was 21 years old. I barely knew jiu-jitsu, and I'm fighting a black belt, former title contender in the UFC when I was 20 years old.
it is kind of weird though. Like you hear, like everybody like loves to be on Instagram talking about, I never turn down fights if you send me a name, and those are the same people that I go like, I saw the name that you were sent and you said no.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody talks a big game. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but there's a lot of guys that, they get behind that keyboard and they're tough guys, but, whatever.
All right, so we got a new guy on the Reddit. His name is Asher. He wants to know who is your favorite fighter and who do you look up to and why.
Is this my Asher?
It is your Asher.
My favorite fighter. Is this BKFC or any combat
He
sport?
didn't say. He just said who's a fighter you look up to and why.
I got to go with Mike Tyson. I've loved him ever since I was a little kid. He's just a ferocious, scary creature that just you could tell he put fear in people's eyes, um, and just took their soul before the fight even began. So, and I just loved his fight style. He was boom, 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 and just take people's heads off. So yeah, Mike Tyson was always one of my favorites. I looked up to him in his prime.
Okay, so speaking of Mike Tyson, I got another question from Anderson. He said, "Would you ever fight Mike Tyson in his prime?"
Was that really his question before I answered the last
100%.
What did I just say? I would, Anderson, you know this. I would fight any man walking this earth. I don't care if my odds are low. Do I think I'd beat Mike Tyson in his prime? No. But if someone said, hey, do you want to fight him? Just to say, yeah, I fought Mike Tyson. Yeah, I would do it. I fear no man. And you could test me to that one day. I don't know. Somebody that's in their prime and a scary, mean dude, offer me the fight and see what happens.
Well, I mean, there was that talk of that tournament, that $25 million tournament, and supposedly the weight class was a big open class. So, I mean, if you wanted, we could have saw you potentially go fight Big Ben Rothwell at some point, maybe.
Yeah, dude, I would have done it too. He would have taken my head off. I'd probably be in a coma, but I would do it. There's always that puncher's chance. You know what I mean? Could you imagine me laying out Ben Rothwell? Oh my gosh, I'd retire right then. I'd be like, yep, I did it.
I was saying I was hoping it was open weight because I want to see somebody like John Dotson, draw Ben Rothwell.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if they'd sanction that in the States. That would be ridiculous.
We'd go to Japan. It'd be fine.
Oh, yeah. They'd be like, oh, yeah.
Your last fight was shaping up it was one of those, I wasn't sure how Andrew was going to do coming off the layoff and all that. But your last fight was really shaping up to be great. And you cut him and you split him open bad. It was great for you because you left for vacation the next day and you actually looked nice. But I mean, that fight there, like I said, that was one of those, I think a lot of people were really impressed by how that fight was going down. And that, down the line, that's definitely a fight I could see ran back.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if Andrew would do it. I mean, not that he's afraid of me, but jumping back up to my weight class, I think he's comfortable at 55. But who knows? If the price is right, he might jump back up and get in there with me. But yeah, it was an honor fighting him. He's a cool dude. We got along. We still talk. We text each other every once in a while. So I'm excited to see him do well in the sport and continue to do well in the sport. But yeah, we were going to put on a show. It does, obviously, a victory that quick and getting out with, well, I did break my hand, but my face stayed pretty. So that's always nice, but I always like to put on a show and give people what they want to watch. So it was a little unfortunate, but hey, I got the victory.
You got the chin touched a little bit. How does that feel with, any, I mean, you broke your chin a couple fights ago, you got hit some of this time. Any soreness, any swelling, or life as usual?
So it's funny. My corner was yelling, what are you doing? Get your hands up. I just needed one. I needed one right on the button. I wasn't being cocky, but I needed to test this new iron jaw of mine. And I don't know if you saw the picture online of him straight right, clean, right on the button. I'm just ah. And it felt fabulous. I knew I got hit hard, but didn't rock me, didn't daze me. I'm like, all right, the chin's good. Let's go, baby.
What's your recovery?
It didn't really swell up or, I mean, normal post-fight soreness, bumps and bruises. But, yeah, it felt great.
What's your recovery routine? How do you get back in, feeling good after a fight like that?
I think we're making it a tradition now to go to the beach after a fight because we just booked one. So we'll leave the day after. We're just staying local, East Shore, going to Delaware. But yeah, I typically take a week off and just enjoy myself with the family, kind of ease back into training depending on my injuries. But yeah, I don't like to be laid up too much. I'm very active. I love being in the gym, love training, love staying healthy. So I would say a week or two, and then I'm back at it.
Your wife sent this one in. She says, surprising hobbies or talents you have outside of the fighting that fans might not know about you.
Well, I can't sing or dance. Well, I could cut up the rug a little bit.
Okay.
Man, I'm good at yard games. I don't think anyone out there can see me at cornhole. Uh, I talk a lot of trash in golf,
Okay.
but I'm absolutely horrible, so I can't throw that one in there. But I also had a pro sponsorship in skateboarding when I was 16. I'm still pretty good on the skateboard.
That's interesting. Like Tony Soto's a big skater. Nick's a big skater. I see those like Nick though. Nick hurts himself a lot. Like when you skateboard, do you hurt yourself a lot?
I try to stay off it, especially in a fight camp.
Sure.
Actually, I do stay off of it. So I don't get on it much anymore, but I don't really have anyone to skate with. Nick does look pretty legit.
Oh, he's good.
Soto's fair, but Nick's good. So I'd like to roll around with him for a little bit.
No, like that's one of my favorite things. Like I show up and he's, he's limping in and he's like, bro, I killed it today, but look at my ankle and it's like swollen, or, he'll show like he fell and he's got like a huge, massive bruise. But yeah, like he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's gnarly. I've seen his videos. I'm like, all right, this guy can skate.
Okay, we had another new person to the Reddit, Ella. She goes, what goes through your mind mid-fight?
Oh, Ella, my sweet baby. What goes through my mind? Oh, man. It's really nothing specific. It's, it's different every fight. I like to analyze guys. Round one especially is my time to like really analyze my opponent. I like to look for gaps in their game, some, openings. It's a whirlwind up there. It's just constant, like, high paced analyzing as I'm getting punched at and trying to hit them. So sorry, Ella, it's a little, not very specific, but yeah, it's a very focused mental state of mind, just focusing.
All right, so this is how I can tell Ella's your child. She sent in a second question, and she's doing a little bit of shit talking. She says, do you think this guy has crazy hair, or like you want to punch their face off?
I gotta look at Ryan's hair. I'm not sure. I think he just got like a basic fade or buzz cut. I don't know. He doesn't have gorgeous California hair like Angel Core does.
Yeah. No, like, were you intimidated fighting somebody with such a wonderful? I mean, he kept fixing his hair during the fight. I mean, he was really wanting everybody to see that hair.
He was gorgeous. I almost didn't want to hit him. Nice faded up lined beard and, the slick back hair. I heard people yelling in the crowd like, punches, what they say, punch that sexy surfer in the face or something. Yeah, the crowd did not like Andrew's hair, but I thought it was gorgeous.
One of my favorite things about your fight with Andrew, he's a criminal, you're a cop, you got to punch a criminal in the face and there's no repercussions.
Exactly. Well, sometimes on the street there's no repercussions too. Depends if they yeah, that was cool. That was kind of a cop and bad guy fight. That was pretty neat. But yeah, Andrew, I don't consider him a criminal now. He's got his life together. He's doing well.
I can see Jackie lurking in the back. I feel like she wants to come on with you.
I asked her, and she said, "Are you kidding me?
I can see her reflection." Like? Yeah. Okay. I thought I saw her.
That might be Asher in the reflection.
Oh, it's Asher. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Does he want to come on? Like, feel free. Like, you don't have to hide, dude.
Come on over. Come look at my strapping oldest child.
Tell me about your weirdo children, like flexing out there for the people driving by. Like, I saw a video of these guys flexing and making cars honk at him yesterday.
Oh, you mean our strut walk when we were strutting?
Yeah.
That's what we do, man. We like to let people know who lives here. Let them know the pegs are in town. Not to mess with us. They drive by and honk. They either love us or they're terrified and, they speed off.
So you, like, before your last fight, I think you moved into your new place. Now that you've been there for a while, does everybody know you, or are you like a well-established? I mean, everybody comes for barbecues, or you guys kind of keep to yourself?
No, we love entertaining. We got a core group of friends that pretty much the same people over here all the time, but love our neighbors. They're all great people. I'm pretty well known in this town just with the fight game and, arresting people.
Is it still the rule if the person pays you a compliment about your fighting career, you let him go?
100%. Yeah. And I cited this one guy. He was from a different state, and it wasn't anything major. It was a traffic violation, but he waited till after I handed him the citation. He's like, "Hey man, are you Dustin Pague?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, I watched you on The Ultimate Fighter." I'm like, "Why didn't you say that, bud? I would have cut you a break." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a big fan." I'm like, "All right, take a hearing, man. We'll see what we can do."
Yeah, I won't show up that day.
Yeah, I'll have something. I'll get sick that day.
165 is getting really intense right now. Like you're not currently in the top 5, but I mean, like you should be, but you're also not. But 165 is scary right now. Like, what's it going to take to weed out? Like, Snake lost. I heard Jake Lindsay has a fight coming up. Bryce Henry's got a fight coming up. We just saw Connor Tierney look really good over there. Austin Trout left the division. Yeah, like what the heck is going on with 65? And like, I mean, what are your plans for it?
I don't know. I'm just gonna keep fighting whoever they send my way, and hopefully I get some recognition. The rankings are just they're screwed up, I believe. I mean, how did Bryce Henry? I mean, he's a great fighter, but how did he get ranked at welterweight and he's never fought welterweight yet? Like that's not a thing, right? So, you got to earn your spot in the weight class.
His last fight in Omaha was at welterweight. His first 2 fights were at 65, and then he went down to 55, and then that last one against Finley was at. And the only thing I'll say was he was offered Jake Lindsay, and Jake Lindsay said no. So they got Derek Finley to step in. So it's one of those things. Like right now, I don't know what's going on 100%, but you have like. You got Gobogo just came back. Julian Lane's fighting for the belt. Like I said, it's so much crazy shit going on at 65.
Yeah, I don't try to understand it. I'm just gonna stay in my lane. I'm not one to, badmouth people or call anyone out. So I'm just gonna keep training hard and splitting people open, winning fights, and see where that gets me.
Is Endgame? We heard Dave say that I don't remember the name of where the 76ers and those the big arena out there in Philadelphia, but they're going back there in November. Is that the goal to be on that card?
Yeah, I'd love to put a show on, beat Peterson, and then be on that November card. It's at the Wells Fargo.
That's what it is.
Should have said that. Yeah, Wells Fargo.
No, he announced it. He said that they're going back to Wells Fargo, and they had a huge card. He hasn't announced anything, but he said like this fall we're going back to Wells Fargo. So
yeah, that's a great venue. That would be awesome to fight there. And I lost my opportunity when Burns didn't pass his medical, so I'm itching to get that one back.
Okay, your wife sent in another one. She said, "What song plays through your head when you're doing the most mundane tasks like mowing, dishwashing, showering?" Do you have a song?
I got many songs, but let's see. It depends what mood I'm in. If I'm angry, it changes things. If I'm happy, it's probably like girls just want to have fun. No, maybe not.
No, I can dig to it.
Actually, I do love that country song that who's that by? You've heard it. Not the actual girls just want to have fun, but he sings that line. Girls
is it Jelly Roll?
Want to have fun at the top of the lungs. I don't know. Good country song. That's been playing in my head a lot lately.
Are you somebody like I love to come up with my own words that rhyme to the words? Like I rewrite the songs as I sing. Are you that guy too?
All the time. Or if I don't know the words and I just say something that sounds like what they're saying, and Jackie will look at me like, "What? What do you think they say?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it."
Okay, you're a guy who is a cop. So my wife has been on The Rookie. Like she loves The Rookie. So we've been watching it. Are you a guy who you are a cop? You watch like the cop TV shows, or they're so not realistic you can't watch them?
Yeah, they're frustrating to watch. I haven't seen any that are like realistic. They're always, made for TV, where people are like, "Oh wow, that's pretty awesome," but it ain't like that.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I don't have any more from the kids. All right, so like I said, so barring everything goes exactly, I mean, the goal. I just wasn't sure if you were trying to get on the Italy card. It seems like everybody wants on the Italy card. They just announced they're going back to Dubai. Everybody wants international. But are you wanting international, or like Philadelphia is good enough?
No, I would love that. I mean, I don't. I'm very grateful for my friends and family that come out and support me, but I've told them, like, when they're like, "Oh, I can't make this one. I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Guys, I love you
Yeah.
and I'm very grateful that you're there, but I don't need you there. You can watch it from home. You're still there in my heart." So yeah, I would love to take the wife and the cornerman to somewhere beautiful overseas. Absolutely, that'd be great.
How are you at ice skates? We saw that BKFC just signed that Ice Wars, and we saw a couple BKFC fighters fight on that. Is there any chance we see you throw on the skates and go hockey fight?
100%. Give me like a month to train on some skates, and I'm in. I always wanted to be, the goons on a, NHL hockey team that just, hey, go out there and beat up the captain. I'm like, yes, sir, I'm on it. Just go pick a fight. I would love that. Could you imagine getting paid like six figures a year to just beat people up, like
Just to fight.
on the ice? You maybe skate for 2 minutes in a game and beat somebody up. I'd be like, yeah, I could do that.
You'd excel at it. I mean, here's the thing though, you have to be a good skater because I mean the way they push and pull, and like if they pull you off your feet, you're screwed.
I've uh I've ice skated a few times in my life, and not to brag, but my buddies called me Wayne Gretzky. I don't know if that's good or not. Not a huge hockey fan, but you know, I think I'm pretty good.
I can go forward really fast. Stopping is an issue for me on ice.
Yeah, I do remember stopping being pretty tricky. So, like I said, give me a month, I'll have it down. I'll be throwing fist on the ice.
The last time you were on, you almost lost me my channel with the brief partial nudity. Like I'm glad that you didn't do that again.
Yeah, my child's here. I had to keep my clothes on. He's tired of seeing dad's butt.
That's one of my favorite things about you, though. You're a prank guy. Like I see you prank people. You're a good shit. It's so weird. It's not weird, but like sometimes it's such a struggle to talk to people, and they give you one word answers, and you have to pull stuff out. And like you and I, we've met before, but other than that, it's all just like online stuff. But I feel like we have such a great rapport.
Oh, absolutely. You're a fun guy to talk to. And what's better than making somebody laugh or smile? People need that, especially nowadays.
Okay, the last time we talked, you talked about fighting the guy who had like killed somebody. Do you have another crazy fight story you can give us? The Marine guy was the last story.
Did I tell you the one at the beach? The guy
Okay,
almost
so
got
you told me fighting a guy for your buddy because the guy didn't know what your buddy looked like, and then you told me the Marine story. So I've got those two stories in my pocket.
you got the Andy Weber story because he was afraid to fight, and then
Yeah.
the Marine story where he got arrested for like strangling and killing his girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right, so there's one. This was at senior week at the beach.
Okay.
So me and my buddies were out making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because we're poor, we can't afford to go out and buy food. So we're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on the hood of my buddy's car, and these two girls walk by, and they're wearing the beads, and you know how that goes at the beach. And my buddy Matt was just being a goofball, and he lifted up his shirt, and he's like, "What do these get me, ladies?" And they like giggle and keep walking. Well, here there was this big old dude, looked all roided up, jack guy, walking like 10 feet behind him. So he didn't think like, he was with them. Apparently he was. He's like, yo, what the F did you say to my girl? He's like, he's trying to deflect the situation. He's like, hey, sorry, man. You're walking like 10 feet behind him. I didn't know you were with him. He's like, that's my girl. You want to go? And before my buddy Matt had a chance to say anything, I said, no, but I'll go. And I took my shirt off. I took my shirt off and flipped my flip flops off. I said, you want to go? And the guy took his shirt off, and the dude was just jacked. And I'm like, uh oh. this is going to be a big one. So the one thing I remember in my head that really got me hyped was my buddy Derek. As soon as that guy took his shirt off and I saw how big he was, and so I graduated when I was 17, so I'm 17 at this time. I probably weighed 135 pounds soaking wet. I was a skinny little skater boy, but I loved to fight. So this big old juice head took his shirt off. I'm like, uh-oh. And I remember my buddy Derek saying, "Get him, D." And that's like the only thing I remember that like hyped me up. Like, oh, he wants me to get this guy. So the moment the fight started, I knew I was going to beat the guy because he comes like just a roid head through this giant haymaker. I just go whoop, slip under it, and just hit him with like 5 punches right in the face. And he dropped down to a knee, and I just threw a massive uppercut, connected perfectly, and his whole body just went limp and fell into the grass. So my friends are going nuts. Oh my gosh. He gets up, runs in between my buddy's car and the car parked behind him out into the road. And I can't tell you how close it was to him getting hit by a car. Like millimeters. This car is like, whoosh, and he just misses it, runs across the street, down to the red light, and crosses back over to meet the girls. And we're looking down at the end of the street where he's standing with the 2 girls, and he's looking back, like looking around, like so confused. And you could tell they're explaining to him, like, hey, you just got beat up by that little kid up there. So then we hear this other like loud crowd. Here, there's a bunch of people partying up on a balcony nearby. They all came down and they're like giving me a noogie and high-fiving me. They're like, dude, you little beast, you just beat up that big dude. So yeah, that was I was like the king of senior week then. Like everyone's like, man, that little dude can fight. But really, I just fought a juiced up bum that didn't know how to fight at all. So it made me look good.
It is funny how many people think if they're like, you hear like the 400-pound guy, like, I'm 400 pounds, and that's supposed to make you like intimidated because they're that. Or it's like, well, I'm 6'6", and for some reason, a size is always associated with toughness, and I never got that.
Yeah, I don't either. Especially, I mean, if you're a fighter, you know the fight game, like you understand it. But there's a lot of people in the world like, oh man, look how big his muscles are. Man, he'd beat the crap out of somebody. No, he probably can't wipe his own butt, to be honest. So yeah, that was a great story, but it made me look really cool.
All right. Do you have any final message for the fan? Anything you want to get out there before we call it a day before the fight?
I hate this part because I feel like I have so many people in my life that I'm grateful for and want to give a shout out to, but there's just so many. So I will name a few, but just know if you're watching this, I love you all. Force. Gabe, this guy hits me a lot, so I can't talk well. First and foremost, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I can never forget him. Just God has blessed my family with so many great things we don't deserve. So I'm very grateful for his mercy and his grace. My beautiful wife Jackie, she makes this family go round, right? She holds us together. She's the glue, and especially in my fight career, she does a lot for me. Things that I don't want to deal with, she takes care of. The Bang Barn Boys, John Cayley, Emery Rank, Dan Bauer, Michael Dugan, Justin Cluck, Jordan Stepanchik, Lou Reese, Scott Howard. I love that guy to death. And so many other people that I'm very grateful for. I'm grateful for you, Jason, to take time out of your busy day to talk to just a gorgeous man like myself. But yeah, I think that's about it. I have a lot of great sponsors that I'm going to do posts on, so I won't take up your time with that. But yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
about it. I love my friends and family very much.
Well, best of luck. Get your win. We'll talk afterwards. And like I said, I feel like, like I said, you should be back in the top 5. We got to see you do something. Like I can't wait to see where this plays out.
Well, thank you, brother. I'm looking forward to it. I can't promise a victory, but I'm promising a good show.
Cool. All right, sir. Have a great night and have a great 4th of July. Thank you.
You do the same. See you, brother.
Bye.